Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Red Hot Racing League Truck Series. Tonight, we take on the Paperclip Martinsville. You don't have to listen to the guy talk in the background, but we're about to get started here. Sorry, I queued up NASCAR, it closed out on me, but we're here, we're ready. It's red hot, you know the deal. It's going to be some great racing, and we get to bring it to you live. Kevin and I up in the booth tonight as always. Our special guest isn't here, sadly. Oh, maybe he will be here in a second. I just see he got online.
Oh, hold on.
But we'll get him in here. But yeah, we're tonight we race at the Paperclip. Our special guest just got online. He might be able to make it into the party. Welcome.
He made it.
Dark Abyss. He is here now. So we got a 3-man booth for you guys tonight. Ready to lock it, load it, and get it going here at the Paperclip. Dark
real
Abyss,
quick, Gavin,
include
check
your
and see if
audio, good
cutting.
fella. We'll see what's going on here tonight. Kevin, you want to give your spiel?
Yeah, hold on. You're like just in time. Yeah, you made it just in time, Abyss. So good job, good timing. But while Gavin very quickly makes sure we sound good. First of all, thank y'all for coming out here tonight, watching this. It's gonna be fun. Paperclip, second short track of the season. Of course, this is the smallest track the Truck Series will head to this season. You look at the fuel window, about 38 laps. Probably going to be some fuel saving that comes in later in this race. We'll get to that when we get there. But in the meantime, I expect this to be really fun, and I expect to see a lot of contact beating and banging, as you typically would at a old Paperclip. So looking forward to that. And Abyss, real quick, how are you doing tonight, sir? I know you kind of hopped in here a little bit late, but how you doing?
I'm tired. I just kind of woke up from a nap, yes. So, I mean, I'm glad I saw your message, Kevin, so thank you for inviting me, because I saw it on my phone. That's kind of what really woke me up. I was like, oh yeah, it's time. So I kind of...
I'm glad you could make it.
I kind of put my
I'm
car
gonna
in
leave
fifth
and
gear and just kind
rejoin,
of floored it, you know?
Gavin, you're not supposed to be racing.
I'm gonna back
you're
out.
supposed to be watching.
I'm gonna back out and rejoin the party because my audio is being terrible. So
okay.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Let me leave. Re-invite me, please. Quick little intermission here as we look to get started here in a few moments. I'm gonna rejoin the party here. The bit rate's being stupid. Nothing surprising with that. So
yeah, roll.
We're here. All right, let's get it.
Alright, I'm back in.
Alright, time to get to the track, guys. What are you two excited about here at the Paperclip, other than it being one of the most action-packed short tracks in racing history?
Oh, there we go. I mean, personally, you look at this place. This is one of my favorite racetracks. I love this place. The short tracks that we have in this game and in NASCAR in general, they're my favorite discipline of racing. I think, Gavin, you're kind of in the same boat as I am when it comes to that opinion. I love this place, though. It's such a driver's track. You have to be on the brakes. You have to know when to get back on the throttle at the right time. And if you don't get back on the throttle at the right times, then often you'll either find yourself getting loose if you slam it too hard, or up in the wall coming off the corner. Either one of those two things is not an option you want to be taking. And of course, the factor of the bumpers being laid to one another, that causes some tempers as well, Abyss. And when these guys get upset, that's when the racing really gets interesting.
I have to agree right there. You know, that's pretty much what we're looking for pretty much tonight. We got some hot heads in the field today, so it's going to be fun to see who's going to be put bumper early and who's going to be put the bumper late. This is for the game, this is probably one of my worst racetracks. But in real life, I love this track. So I mean, I can't wait to see what these guys are gonna do. I've yet to see a league race where this track does not look fantastic. So we're gonna hopefully put on a great show for you guys tonight, Gavin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
real
absolutely.
quick, by the way, before we head to green, I want to thank Circle B Diecast. We'll hear more about them later. Gavin, sorry to cut you off. You're good now.
Well, it looks like one more pace lap and then we're going to go green. So we got Asylums leading us here with a 97 on the high side. That's Fabico Gamer. Second row looking pretty tough as well with Foreign Fuel. And I believe that's the 50 of Trippy Tricks running a patriotic throwback for Memorial Day next week. Because we will be taking a week off next week. You won't see us in the booth. But right here we are now. Green flag in the air. Asylums in the lead. Fabico misses a shift. Foreign Fuel in the second. Asylum's out front right now, and it looks like he's already getting to work, guys. He's already got a fairly decent lead here early on the guys behind him. The 50 moves the 99 out of the way. Trippy Tricks now into second, but Asylum's still commanding up front.
Indeed, and you talk about, too, these guys, it's a bottom feeder racetrack. You can kind of make the middle work, but especially on the custom setups, that bottom, you want to be wrapping that curb through the center of the corner. You want to be tucking it down, getting as close to that curb as you can without hitting it. You want to be tight to the curb on entry. Just the apex is so important here. If you open that bottom up just a little bit, that allows people behind you to get their nose in and move you up the track. That's how you pass here. So you're going to see guys on the outside fighting extremely hard very early in this race to get down to the bottom of this racetrack. But Asylums, of course, he started on the pole, so that's an advantage. You get the bottom by default, and he has held on to it, and now looks to set sail a bit.
Oh, yes, as I'm looking through this pack, I'm seeing a lot of bumping and boozing. Looks like some people are already putting the bumper as they're 3 wide going into turn 3. They kind of sold out to 2 wide. But these guys are not having some fun here in the middle of the pack. I think actually our Xfinity winner of last week, our truck, I forget what I think it was Xfinity. Graham was kind of a little bit 3 wide, but now he kind of sells it out. He's kind of pulling away now. It's just kind of interesting. I'm watching through this pack. I'm seeing a lot of bumping and bruising early on. And I think they don't realize they still have a whole lot of this race to go.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Abyss, as I see the 68 of Graham Cracker getting bullied here by Slide Job and ADRco. They're kind of tag teaming him right now. Yeah, Graham Cracker's got a lot of hungry drivers on his hands. But back up front, it looks like there's some lap traffic already coming into a factor here, as Asylums has just been on a tear already early in this short track racing event here tonight. He is already appearing to come up on the horizon of lap traffic. And, you know, at tracks like this, guys, you know just as well as I do, when you're the leader, it really comes down to make or break points like maneuvering your lap traffic well. And, you know, we're going to see who can do it the best here tonight. So, Kevin, you take it away from here.
No, yeah, you talk about the lap traffic, and I mentioned earlier this is a one-groove racetrack. Well, when you catch lap traffic, they still want to run that one groove. Now, oftentimes, if you catch a good lap car, and most are, not all of them, and I've made that comparison before. I believe last time I made it was the Cup race we ran at Richmond a few weeks ago. But these guys want to run bottom. They still have a race to run, but at the same time, most of them understand that the leader is lapping them for a reason. The leader's fast. You don't want to be the guy that either gets a reputation or gets yelled at later for messing up the leader or messing up a battle for the leader, what have you. So most of these guys get up out of the way, but it's still, if you're the leader, you have to come up on them and you have to be very cautious, which allows guys like Chirpy back here in second to kind of maybe take advantage a little bit if given the opportunity. And if the lap cars don't move out of the way, then it really sets up an interesting situation, and it really allows guys from behind to close in. Abyss, and we've seen this many times before, the lap traffic here is such a big deal, but also if you're the leader, you have to understand how to get through them cleanly and understand that they are not all going to race you the same.
Yes, I very agreed. Because it depends on what everyone's racing for. If you know that you are not gonna be the free pass, most people won't fight it. But if you are coming to that stage end, or you know a caution might come out in the next couple laps because someone's driving a little reckless, most drivers will fight that leader to stay on the lead lap, or just to be the first car lap down, so he does not have to really lose a lap. I would say, but also you gotta be worried if your leader if there's two lap cars battling it right in front of you and they're side by side, because that means you got nowhere to go. Because if you make it 3 wide, that's not going to look pretty.
Exactly.
No, and lap traffic is such a tough thing when it comes to these tracks. As you see Asylums right now maneuvering past the 4 of TBR Rise. As TBR Rise gets out of his way, a very respectful lap car he is. Asylums has put a major gap. I believe the last time I heard it was 4 seconds on second, and then so many more from then. So it's a very, 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 very decent sized gap that he has. But you know, you look up in front of him, you see more lap cars, and he's starting to gain on that big pack that we saw towards the middle of the field. So right now, I think the next lap car that Asylums will be creeping up upon is the 94 of Super NASCAR Fan, if I'm not mistaken. 15 laps to go next time by, so this stage really coming to a close pretty quickly. I believe we're already over halfway through, and Asylums has led every single lap up until then. Does anybody have anything for Asylums, Kevin?
I definitely think the closest person right now, and the one person really that I kind of the top 2 right now are the 2 favorites, the 2 guys I had circled coming into this race, and they're running up front now. Also, by the way, a little bit of a error there. It's only a 1.8, about 2-second gap to second place Asylums has over Trippy. 4 seconds back to third place running Fabico, who's still done a very nice job holding on to his track position. Started on the front row and has fallen into third and currently sets in, and he's trying to pick up another top 5. He's been really on a hot streak lately. Every race that he's finished, every one of the last, I think, 3 or 4 races that he's finished inside the top 5. The ones that he hasn't finished in the top 5, he's logged out of recently. So that's pretty impressive, and that's somebody who's really made a lot of growth. Also, I want to talk about 4th place real quick. Air Just Cause. He is somebody that runs pretty consistently inside the top 10, but we don't really hear a whole lot about of him. He's kind of quiet, but he's having a really good run
Turn 2
tonight. And
There's 2 cars on. Don't think that would be a caution. And that was literally with the battle of Graham Cracker 2. He has been on a battle this entire race. So right now, I don't know what's the field's problem, but they are not a big fan of Graham Cracker in that 68 truck. Sorry.
And Gavin, look ahead of your leader. We talked about lap traffic. He's gonna have to get through this wide. If you're Trippy now, you are very excited.
Yeah, I mean, in front of Asylums, we might as well call it what it is. It's a roadblock in front of him right now. Not a lot of room here at the short track known as the Paperclip. We call it Martinsville, as Asylums is going to get to the inside of Super right there. But yeah, I mean, I see 3 cars right up there in front. It looks like it's the 16 of Material Zero, the 74s in there. That's them, right? And then you got the 26 of Gamers Blazing. So all 3 of these guys, and look, they're all 3 running different lanes. So not what you want to see as the leader, especially when you're trying to pull away from another heavy hitter, like you said, Kevin, Trippy Tricks, who is very solid at a short track like this.
Cool, buddy.
So
he's getting held up.
It's gonna be a really tough feat trying to get through all 3 of these lap cars, as it looks like they're not willing to move just yet.
Well, and again, you talk about the fact that these guys don't want to go a lap down. I can tell you right now, as many cars that are going to go a lap down, or trucks that are going to go a lap down here this evening, these guys do not want to get lapped because it can very easily ruin your race. It's very, very hard to get a lap back here unless you're the free pass. If you're not the free pass, you might as well kiss the lead lap goodbye unless we get a bunch of cautions, which this race tends to go green a lot of the times. A lot of the races that I've called here have gone green most of the way. So Asylums does a good job making his way through there, but he's in our party along with Trippy. Actually, we have top 2 with us tonight. He was a little bit, I think maybe had a couple Code Brown moments headed through there, so.
These guys are racing hard for each other right now. Like, they're still going 3 and 2 wide, I think.
Trippy in trouble.
Oh, these cars all around the racetrack are kind of just racing each other how they want to, and the leaders, top two, are pretty much just going right and trying to get right through them. As I think almost everyone's kind of put it all out. I think now we're all looking like double file, no too wide, as we're coming to the end of the stage, Gavin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking right now from Trippy Tricks' POV. The cluster that Asylums has left behind is definitely a shaky one, as we see the 94 and the 74 battling each other. They're just sending each other every other corner, and now the 16 is going to get involved as the driver in second place, Trippy Tricks. You do not want to see this. I mean, just look at the 74 and 94. They're trading more than just paint right now. I mean, the sheet metal is getting used. Coming to the white flag next time by. Up here with our leader Asylums, he has Graham Cracker in the 13. I believe that's Bombing up in that 13 Tenda Ford F-150. And I believe this might be the last bit of lap traffic we see for Asylums, and he might not even have to pass them with the lead he has over second right now. So Asylums comes down here to turn 3, and it looks like he's just going to keep it safe. He's not even going to risk it. I don't blame him. He's got enough of a lead. Asylums will come home with your stage 1 green and white checkered flag here tonight in that beautiful number 6 Ford F-150, and I believe Trippy Tricks right behind him is going to take home second. I don't know who 3rd, 4th, and 5th were. I believe that didn't change much. 3rd place is going to be Beco Gamers, and 4th should be Air Just Cause. I do not know. 5th, Mr. Slide Job. 6th is Grams. Whoa. Now, how about one highlight here, Gavin? Idyllic Fungus. His first league race in quite a few months. Had to start at the dead back last row, dead last on the field. Has worked his way up into the top 10 throughout stage 1 and finds himself in the 8th position. Now that's pretty impressive, but my big question, ironically,
how many cars on the lead lap right now?
There will be 10 cars on the lead lap here once 10th place, I believe, is Gamers Blaze and gets the wave here, so he'll be starting in the very back. But ironically, like you said, Kevin, the 8 car finishes 8th here. Abyss, they're about to go green. What do you think's about to go down here into turn 1 of stage 2?
Pure chaos. They were not friendly in stage 1. I don't think they're going to be friendly in stage 2. As I'm seeing, they're still trying to push each other, just trying to send it. They're going 3 wide in the back, down the straightaway. I don't know what oh! Graham puts it
oh boy!
Oh,
that's not what you want to see. Graham Cracker and Ross is out.
No room. No one's given any room in stage 2, people. Only stage 2. They still got one more stage to go, Gavin.
Yeah, I mean, that was a chaotic... I managed to catch the wreck there just as soon as it unfolded from Billis's camera, and unfortunately, I believe we do have a lag out of TBR Rise that came up over my Discord notifications. TBR Rise lags out, so we will not see him finish this race, and that is unfortunate for him. But that was a chaotic crash there, Kevin. I mean, no way to explain how that one happened. It just happened right in front of us. Don't know what to say about it. Just a lot of cars getting torn up here at the Paperclip.
Indeed, well, that's our first caution for incident today. Been a pretty clean race, but sometimes on the restarts, as Abyss, you said, a little bit of chaos there. That's to be expected, though. We'll see how this goes as we head back to the green flag.
Ooh, as they're still bumping into turn number 3. I'm sorry, turn number 1, sorry. As they're still bumping and banging, not really learning from the last caution. Will they make it a lap this time? It looks like they do, but there still will be door-to-door contact. Sheet metal has been a factor this entire race. I don't know what anyone's thinking at the moment. But there still is a battle, and I mean, there's a battle in the middle of the pack. Still so much bumping and banging, as I think the entirety of the top 10 has kind of gotten single file as the behind them is going 2 and maybe even 3 wide, Gavin.
Yeah, I mean, right here, looking at the 68 Toyota of Graham Cracker right now, he's got a plethora of cars up in front of him. It is just pure pandemonium out here right now as they still aren't single file. And it looks like Idyllic Fungus right up ahead of him misses a corner. That's going to stack the field up just a little bit, but that top 5 continuing to break away right now. I believe Alex is in 5th. He's chasing down Slide Job, and thanks to Idyllic Fungus missing the corner a little bit, he's now got a little bit of breathing room behind him, and all he has to worry about is the challenge ahead, which is passing that 2 Chevrolet Silverado.
3 wide going
Mr.
down the front stretch.
Kevin.
In turn 1, my goodness. Sorry to interrupt that.
Absolutely, and also, I don't know, that was a little bit interesting. I saw a car kind of just chilling there, minding his own business. So, yeah, truck car, as old Toasted Gamers would say. Toasted, I hope so much you're in the chat. But these guys, right around here, these guys starting to really spread out in the top 5. We'll see, and another DNF. The 18 has fallen out of the running now. That's really unfortunate for Billis. You hate that, especially so early in these races. You don't want to see guys fall out, and especially too, this is one of those racetracks where, yeah, a lot of cars go a lap down, but also you kind of get new chances at life. I should also point out, by the way, that last caution we had put an 11th car back on the lead lap, and it also really helped out Gamers Blazin', who previously got the free pass. That moved him back up with the rest of the lead lap instead of being at the rear. So that helped him out. But just a couple small updates there. Did we have to pit the stage? That was the other question I had. No pitting this time either, so didn't think so. Stage 3 will be a little bit of a different story, but we'll get that later, Biss.
As I'm still looking in the back right now, once Asylum gets to this backfield, I still have him saying, what am I looking at? Because right now they're still battling like they have never left stage 1. Still fender to fender, bumper to bumper. I really don't know who is the safe truck in this backfield, because it's just pure chaos in the back. But as I believe everyone else has kind of gotten a little figured out more than here. But as I'm scrolling through, it just seems to be pandemonium everywhere around this paperclip. But that's what makes this track so much favorable. There's always something to talk about around this racetrack from first to all the way to last.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, but right now our top 2 leaders right now are kind of on an island of their own. Casey and Trippy Tricks both basically just broken off from the field, and Fabico and the rest of the pack left in the dust. But we'll see if there's anything old Trippy Tricks can do here, because Asylums has had one extremely fast race car, and it's been handling well as also, which is very difficult to manage here at a track like this. Typically you get loose off of 2, loose off of 4, and you know, if you can manage the comfortableness of your car here, I think it takes you more than just being fast. I mean, especially if you're not getting loose like other guys are in front of you or behind you, you're going to gain time if you have a vehicle that can remain under you and remain stable, and that's what Asylums has. But on top of that, you know, he's got that speed. It's not just the car, it's the driver, and the driver behind that number 6 has really been doing an amazing job keeping that car underneath him and really just having that blazing fast speed, as well as second place in the 50 of Trippy Tricks. He's been doing the same thing. He's had a really good car. All he's been talking about is how it's been a little bit loose in the long run, but I think Trippy Tricks has the brain power and the willpower to keep that car underneath of him, and also manage to, on next time he's able to make a pit stop adjustment, he might be able to tune that sucker out just a little bit more. But Kevin, I mean, these 2 guys are gone. Does anyone have anything for our top 2 right now?
At the moment, let's say no. Maybe when we get into stage 3 and strategy comes into play, we might see a little bit of a different story be written. But as of right now, No, these two are being the class of the field. And you talk about Asylums being a little bit comfortable. That might be. However, the one thing he does know, and this is coming from his radio directly, but I had thought about it beforehand. Strippy is a lot closer this time around than he was earlier. He didn't have to come through traffic. He just had to get down to the bottom. At the start of the race, he had to come through a little bit of traffic. When Asylums gets into this big pack of lap cars, or lap trucks, truck cars, we're just going to call them truck cars for old Toasted over there. But when he gets into this pack, it's really going to allow Trippy to be able to pounce. It's not going to be before where there's a pretty big gap between them and Asylums has time to get through. Trippy will probably be right on his bumper once he gets into this lap traffic, depending on how it goes. So you've got to be thinking about that just a little bit. You think, Abyss?
Oh yes, very much. I don't know what's more on his mind. The lap cars are Trippy. That is pretty much the conversation we're looking about. As the pack he's chasing is pretty much, I want to say, every single car he lapped. I want to say last stage with a Ideal Fungus actually is in that pack. So this is gonna be fun as I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm just gonna wonder who's gonna be the car that's gonna say I'm not moving. It's gonna have to force Asylums to make a decision, because right now, if these guys keep racing as they are, I don't see him coming out as the leader. Gavin.
Yeah, I mean, these lap cars, you know, they got to think in the back of their mind. They already know that they're one lap down, so we might have to see Asylums use that bumper a little bit more than he did in the first stage. I mean, these guys were pretty generous for the leaders. Some of them still will be. I know a lot of these guys will continue to move out of the way for the guys they know are faster, and our two leaders up here especially. But some of these guys, you know, they know that they're a lap down already. I mean, can they really afford to go 2 laps down at a track like this? I mean, there's only 5 more laps remaining in the stage, and Asylums is just now making it to the pack, but he's got a lot of cars up there to deal with. And, you know, if I'm the 13 of Bombing and the 16 of Material, I'm going to hold them off as much as I can to try to keep myself just 1 lap down. I mean, that's just, I feel like as a lap car, if you want to keep your race alive, if you go 2 laps down here, your race might be over without a caution. Kevin?
No, absolutely. And with as few laps to go, even if Asylums does get to them, the good thing that he does have going is that there's probably 2 trucks kind of by themselves, and then you get to the rest of the pack after a small gap. He's going to get very close to them, but again, if you're about to get lapped right here with coming to, I think, 3 to go on the stage, I am definitely fighting for this lap. He is into the pack now, so slowly merging his way through it. We'll see how many of these guys fight him. I agree with you, Gavin. If I'm one of these guys getting lapped right now, I am fighting, because there's not a lot of laps to go, and it could be the difference in my finishing position in the race and how my stage 3 goes. Because keep in mind, you're only guaranteed this 1 more caution. Okay?
Oh yes, as he actually gets past 1 lap car, as he goes to try to make another one, as he comes and we'll see the white flag this time to pretty much guarantee himself the stage win. No more car. As the 13 goes high and hits the wall, pretty much giving Asylums a smooth on ride down the backstretch. Don't have to worry about the cluster of chaos in front of him, as he will come out of turn 4 to win stage 2. Asylums has swept the stages.
Sets up for the sweep.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the broom will be brought out here later in stage number 3. A lot of strategy yet to be played, because this stage 3, the longest one yet, you're going to see a couple green flag stops if I'm not mistaken. So this will be, this stage is going to be the one for the record books here, as I think, you know, we're going to see a lot of green flag racing. Martinsville brings it out, and it's also good green flag racing. It's not, you know, just you see one guy on an island the whole time. I mean, at the paperclip, like Abyss said earlier, action all over the track. So we'll see here as Casey sweeps 2 stages. Can he go for number 3 at a track he is extremely strong at, Kevin?
I definitely think he can, but Trippy, again, is going to be a strong competitor. The other question that I bring up real quickly, and it's a very large stretch, there's going to be 12 on the lead lap right here, but there is a chance, and you have to really commit to it. And to be honest, with the pace of the 6, I don't know if it'll be worth your while. It is not impossible to save here. I think it's a 51 lap stage. and you get 38 on fuel. You got to save about 13 laps, but it's pretty easy to save fuel here at Martinsville as we head back to green, Abyss.
Oh yes, as we're going to green, little bumping and screwing around right now. I think they're going to come out of turn 2, 3 wide again. No, they're going to stay 2 wide going into turn 3. Oh, nah, I thought we were going to see a wreck there, but nothing. As right now, it's just continuing on the action of pretty much all throughout the stages, a little bumping and banging, little scooting and booting, going down the back straightaway. Looks like Asylums again is pulling out to a lead that Trippy cannot pretty much close. As I'm just looking around this race, like, it's pretty much just who's getting to the bottom first and who's moving who out of the way right now, Gavin.
It looks like Idyllic Fungus there forgot what the brake pedal looked like, because he just blew through the rear bumper of the 97. And just a couple laps ago, we had a battle going on for second where the 97 really dove it in deep on our second place, riding along right now with Trippy Tricks, and he returned the favor, which, I mean, you'll see out of the guys here. You can't complain about being bumped if you're the one doing it. So Trippy Tricks really willing to use that bumper, and he had to there. I mean, if he wanted to keep his hopes alive at Asylums here, he's got to keep the cars in between of them at a minimal. So he's going to remain in second after a little bit of a tussle for that position. But right now, the front two doing what they've done the first 2 stages. They're breaking away, and they're looking to run away. But third right now, you got Alex. He hasn't been this far up, I think, all race, but right now running in the podium spot. That's commentator Air Just Cuz making his marks and hitting them right now in the Truck Series race. He's doing one heck of a job tonight, and that's a beautiful car he's running tonight. And I really can't explain how cool this is to see another guy up in the booth who, you know, you never really think to be an extremely fast guy down here, but you know, he's putting his money right there in that 5 machine, and he's running it. So he's going really quick, Kevin. Up in third, Air Just Cuz.
Indeed, he's been inside the top 5 this entire race. Started 6th, moved up. Uh-oh! That might be a caution.
Foreign Fuel and Idyllic Fungus there. They're going to bring out the caution, guys. I mean, Foreign Fuel and Idyllic Fungus, I don't know what happened there, but trouble out of turn 2.
I was watching pretty much from 5th and on because they were racing like it was no tomorrow. And then I just saw a flip coming up for turn 2. It did not look good. I don't know if this is a super speedway mile and a half, but these guys aren't racing like it's a short track right now.
Well, here's where this turns this upside down, you guys. We talked about how it was going to be a stretch to save this. Well, this changes that completely. If you pit here, you're still going to be short, but it is definitely possible, very much possible, probably going to be the way to go to save fuel. So watch these guys kind of start using the fuel gears. Now the difference is, though, you can, oh wow, Gavin, look, your favorite person's in 4th.
Yeah, and right behind him in that same row behind him, that's Gamers Blazing up there in 6th. So a lot of guys coming out of the preset side of things, making their marks here at Martinsville. Pretty cool, but now we get to see who has the better gears, as we're going to see fuel saving is now at an all-time recommendation for these guys. It might be the winning strategy. We're going to see what happens with these leaders when they throw it into gear, but you know, Kevin, you can naturally save here, and you know, that gives you some, but it's not going to give you enough here. You're going to have to lower those RPMs a little bit more than you'd like to, and you're going to have to save in a couple extra laps, but that changes everything now. So we might not see green flag stops, Kevin, your favorite thing.
Indeed not. I expect not to. Just heard over the radio, 4 laps short on fuel. Very much. If you had to pit here, then I'm honestly shocked. To be honest, you almost can probably save 4 laps here, or just about, without even using a fuel gear. You save fuel naturally here, just because of how slow you go through the center of the corner, how little throttle you're putting in. So it's, I mean, if you don't have a fuel gear, you're not necessarily out of luck, but it's going to be a lot easier and faster to save here with a fuel gear, and then kind of book it later on. We'll have to see how this turns out. But you see these guys begin to spread out now. The other thing is, this is going to be, or it could set up to be one of our longest runs of the race, Biss. And what that means is we get later on into this, especially if there's fuel saving going on, lap traffic could become a little bit more of a factor as they have more time to get into the lap traffic.
Oh yes, agreed, Kevin, because right now, again, I think only one car should be, I think, 2 laps now. Actually, 2 of them should be 2 laps now, unless they got their lap back during the last caution there. So right now, everyone else is either 1 lap down or on the lead lap besides those 2 trucks. So pretty much it is him versus the field right now, but he's still getting challenged by the 50 of Trippy Tricks, currently right on the back bumper. This is the closest he has been all race long. The question is, can he move him or do anything to get to Asylum, or will he save just in case Asylum doesn't save? I'm not sure if Asylum is a good saver. I haven't really seen him fuel save that much, to be honest with you, but I know Trippy loves to fuel save a little bit more. As right now, as he pulls away from the rest of the pack, as Graham Cracker, the man that won last week in the Xfinity Series, is currently running 3rd, running right in front of Air Just Cause, as never mind, Air Just Cause makes a move to go into 3rd spot going into turn number 1, Gavin.
Yeah, Air Just Cause makes a power move there. He really was able to get underneath of that 68, but don't look now. 5th place is Graham's right now, I believe, as he's looking to make a challenge for that 4th place. He's looking low, and it looks like he's going to go for, oh, he hits off the bump there. So does Slide Job. That's going to set him up there for those guys behind him to make a move. But right now, Air Just Cause hasn't fallen too far off the pack. You question, is he just trying to see if the car can naturally save or not, as he is not losing a lot of time like he was with the rest of the pack before. It actually looked like he's kind of gaining on our top 2 here. So can Air Just Cause possibly have something here, maybe be able to get up to the front, because it doesn't look like he's saving right now. He might be able to naturally save enough fuel and possibly take this race home, as we know he is pretty good here at the Paperclip. Kevin?
He is. This is one of his better tracks, and as far as preset racing goes, and you'll see why this is relevant in a second, I'll explain it. He's been pretty good. He's always been really good at saving without shifting or gears or anything, and that kind of thing on presets. That could really play into his hands here if he can apply that to his custom setup racing that he's doing right now. If he can naturally save this while still holding the same speed that he's doing, I can confirm to you right now, Asylums and Trippy are both saving. They're in their fuel gears. That's going to put them down a little bit on speed for the time being. The one thing I would question, though, is they're going to be able to save faster than Alex. Alex is going to have to commit to it pretty good throughout the entire run. We'll have to see how this goes. The one thing, though, I will also say that could help Alex if he continues to stay close to these guys, he might have a chance, at least maybe 2nd or 1st, both, who knows, when we get into lap traffic, and that will be coming up throughout this run. That's where this race could really get shaken up. I think it's about a straightaway, if I'm looking at this correctly, to the 1st lap cars.
Yes, indeed. So the question is, if you're fuel saving and if you're Asylums, how patient are you going to be with the lap car? That is the question I'm most likely going to know, because right now, remember, Asylums isn't really pulling. Actually, now he's actually starting to pull away from Trippy. But right now, the gap between him and 3rd is not that big. I would say about 2 seconds. So, but Asylum's also almost good with fuel, so that's the question. What's going to happen when he gets to the lap cars? Is it going to be panic button time? Because he knows if he doesn't get through them quickly, he's going to have a battle for this lead and maybe for just the race win, Gavin.
I mean, there's a ton of things, Abyss, that could really shake this up. You see, Air Just Cause isn't really fuel saving. He's right there pounding on the door for 2nd with Trippy Tricks, but, you know, he's also catching Asylums a little bit as well. I mean, he's really gaining ground on these guys since he doesn't have to throw it in the gear. If a caution comes out and, you know, Alex has made it up to 1st, I mean, there's a chance that Alex might have something for these leaders. At a track like Martinsville, a lot of different factors, especially now at this point in Stage 3, can really shake things up. Like Kevin said, lap traffic can really play a factor. Fuel's playing a factor. Even tires can play a factor. I mean, there's so many things. You could have a late race caution, which tends to happen here at Martinsville every once in a blue moon. You'll see a caution and that could really shake everything up. So there's a lot of factors going into how this race plays out, other than just speed and just saving. So a lot of different things as the I believe that's the 99 or the 88 comes down pit road. But Kevin, I mean, this could really play out totally different. And since I've been rambling on, Slide Job has moved up in the third now, and he's looking to knock on the door for second. Kevin?
He is, and I would like to point out there are some guys that aren't going to try to save this. Somebody who's had a really strong run going today, looks like that's going to kind of get cut out for him. Grams, he is on the pit lane. He's going to lose at least 2 laps off of that. So his race, assuming we don't have a bunch of cautions, his ballot for a top 10 is pretty much gone out the window. But you know what we haven't done in quite a while, guys? And see the 2 and the 50 getting into one another a little bit there. But you know what we haven't done in a while? Good old-fashioned crank it up. As the 2 looks underneath 50 of Tricky Tricks, he's gonna, looks like, take that spot. He's got the advantage. What do you say we head into a good old-fashioned crank it up, guys? We are back from our Circle B diecast. Crank it up. You want some diecast? Go get them from CircleBdiecast.com. They have all kinds of stuff. They come out with new pre-orders for a lot of the NASCAR diecasts almost daily. New 2021 diecast coming out on a regular basis. They have everything you need. Still have some 2020 stuff in stock. They have 124s, 164s. They also have some other stuff. They got sprint cars, some NHRA drag cars, all kinds of things. And have some shirts and things as well to represent your favorite drivers. Go check them out and use code RHRL at checkout to get free shipping on any purchase over $20 in the US. Go support them. Go get yourself some NASCAR diecasts and other things, just like many of us do and have already done or will do. I tell you what, man, I'm so happy again to have them as a partner. We worked so hard to get that finalized, and it's really cool. A lot of us are diecast collectors, so something that we can all really relate to and use is nice to have. Kevin?
Yeah, exactly, Kevin. And Circle B Diecast isn't just a diecast store, like you said. It's really the motorsport fans' paradise is what I like to call it, because there is just so much more than just diecasts that you can get. You can get tons of racing memorabilia of all different series. And it's just one of the coolest little stores I've ever seen, and especially like if you look through their online things, you can get hats, you can get shirts, you can get die casts, flags, everything. You name it, they got it. Be sure to visit Circle B Diecast, code RHRL, $20 or more on your purchase, and it'll be a free shipping for you straight to your door if you live in the U.S. But back up front, Asylum's continuing to lead. I don't think there's been any other leader other than him. He's led every single lap here tonight, and it looks like nothing has changed since then. He's still up front. Trippy Trick's not too far behind. He's really keeping it close, but can he start to reel it in as these laps start to wind down? So Trippy Tricks really needs to get his fishing rod out and reel in that number 6. And, you know, right back there behind Trippy in third, that's Slide Job. So these top 3 pretty spaced out from each other, but Asylum's continuing to cut through lap traffic like an 1,000-degree knife cuts through butter. Abyss, you know it just as well as I know it. This 6 car is on rails.
Oh yeah, it almost looks like his car is just kind of, I would say illegal, but we're just gonna hope it is not. But as he continues to lead, as Trippy's kind of slowly reeling in the gap, as Mr. Sidejob has kind of just fallen off the pace now, and is currently just sitting in third place. As we keep looking around, little battles here and there, but no one, I think everyone's kind of learned from earlier in the race not to go 3 wide, because that will end up in a calamity. But as we continue to look through the field, I don't think anyone else is going to pit. I think everyone's kind of saved enough fuel to make it the rest of the way. Now the question is, what do you do if a late race caution comes out, Gavin?
Well, the lap's continuing to wind down. Hopefully, if you're the leaders, you don't want to see a late race caution, but I think either way, you got to do what you got to do. Tires are so important here, especially in NASCAR heat. I think you throw it down pit road, take your tires, and go. But 2 laps left, Kevin. What do you think? As we see, Asylums really has just swept the stages and led everything. Don't look now, though. Trippy Trick's right behind, reeling him in.
I tell you what, Trippy's fighting a loose truck, though, especially coming out these corners. It's going to make it hard for him to even if he can get under Asylum, it's going to make it hard for him to race on the straightaway, because he's going to have to worry about trying to fight that while being under him. So as we hit the white flag here, this race, next flag will end it. This thing's about to be over. I think Asylums has probably got this thing unless he makes a mistake here, and Trippy is definitely not out of it. And Trippy is now sputtering on fuel. That is not good.
Asylums is going to take it home. Trippy Tricks almost had it again. That'll be his second place finish in the last, I think, 4 weeks. He almost had Super as well there in what came out to be a fuel saver. And this one, too, kind of fuel saving kind of bites him there. He almost had it there, and it was heating up there at the end, and just didn't have enough gas to get him there. And Asylums is going to come home your winner, though. 3rd place Slide Job. So we got a pretty talented top 3 that's going to be joining us here in the booth very shortly. And we'll have you guys stick around for that to hear from our amazing truckers here tonight. Trippy Tricks, Mr. Slide Job, and our winner, Asylums. Not in no specific order, of course, but first Asylum, second Trippy Tricks, and third Mr. Slide Job. Guys in the booth with me, what did you think about that? I mean, just pure dominance from the 6 truck.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna need to check that 6 car out. I think it's legal. I'm gonna need to check that 6 car.
That's a reasonable assumption. Not kidding. Asylums. I mean, I expected him to be fast here. He actually did what Toasted did in the truck race at Daytona earlier this season. Only the second time that's been done so far this season in any series. He led every single lap tonight. He definitely had challenges from the 50 every now and then. Of course, lap traffic really came into play, especially through the latter part of the race, or I guess the mid part of stage 3 as well. Stage 1, it really got hectic, but all in all, he did a really good job. Kept his bearings under him, kept it smooth, and that's what you have to do. Martinsville is one of those tracks I say all the time. It's a rhythm racetrack, and he had his rhythm. He knew what his rhythm was, and he kept it all night. Didn't let anything really get him off of it. And you put all those things together, yeah, you're gonna dominate, and he did that tonight. But you know, it's a lot of great racing. A nice short track race. Again, this is one of my favorite racetracks. in this game and really just in NASCAR in general. I love this place. So much history here, and it's a nice, good old fashioned short track. You see some bumpers get laid to some other guys, but had one incident really all night, or two actually. Sorry, two incidents all night, and pretty clean race. Pretty happy the way it went. This?
Oh, do I have slide job? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Slide Job. You get a copy, my good old friend.
I
do.
That.
Good, great, man. How are you feeling tonight after that third place?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good. We've had some rough races the last couple of weeks. I felt like, we had better trucks than we showed last couple, so it's good to get a good finish. I know K. Harvick said it was one of his favorite tracks. It's one of my favorite tracks as well. I always run strong here. It was definitely a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Man, we saw you kind of slicing and dicing it with Mr. Trippy Tricks here. Did you think you had anything to beat him, or was it just pretty much friggin' home third?
Oh, absolutely. I think we had the truck to beat him. I know he was saving fuel there, and we got past him, but it was tit for tat when he started going, and then he ran into us, gave us rear end damage, and after that, I let him by and said I'm gonna save the truck and not spin out and take a top 5. So it was just babying after the damage, but it was fun. I don't think we had anything for Casey, but the truck was just a little bit tighter than I wanted it to be, but I was more conservative. I'd rather be a little bit slower and run a fuel gear than endanger myself. So especially with the finishes not being as great last couple weeks. So absolutely a lot of fun. We started from the back tonight, which was fun. I think we started 15th, so it was fun getting up through the traffic. A couple guys needed some bumpers, and and then once we got up in the third and fourth, everything was good. Had a good battle with Fabico there, and then that last restart, a couple guys were driving over their heads and ran through some people, and we got shuffled back, and we worked our way back up.
Man, yeah, but I'm gonna get to the last thing here, man. Do you have anyone to thank for your top 3 today, my friend?
Oh, I got a lot of people to thank, but I want to thank Casey and Wordburton for putting on such a great series. It's a lot of fun. They're definitely organized and always help out with setups and things. So shout out to those guys and Asylums for winning tonight. And yeah, just thank you guys for doing a great job as you always do every week. And thanks to all the guys that came out tonight.
Well, my friend, it's great to speak to you again, and hopefully we get to see you much more in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Congrats, Slide Job, on a third place finish. Nice podium. It's been a little while since you got one. Last time I believe we spoke to you was at Daytona, so not a bad start to the season at all. But again, congrats on a third place. I have your second place finisher, Mr. Trippy Tricks. Trippy, do you have a copy?
No.
This is gonna be funny. All right, so Trippy, even though you don't have a copy, I'm gonna talk to you anyway. Man, I know you don't want to hear this stat. This is your second place finish in 3 weeks, or 3 races. I won't say 3 weeks. We had an off week in there, but you finished second at Canadian Tire. We're so close there. And ended up running out of fuel. It kind of hurt you, and then you sort of fall to the same fate here. You're second again. Looked like maybe if you had a little bit longer, assuming your fuel would last as long, you had a little bit of something for Asylums. You really seemed to be the only person that had any challenge for him at all today. I ran pretty close to him, especially early in the stages, and then we kind of slipped back a little bit. I know your truck was falling away from you towards the end of the runs there, and then of course, fuel got you at the very end there. You ended up sputtering. Walk me through your race, and is there anything you could have done differently to maybe have a shot at the win?
I don't know. Casey was on a really good level tonight. I was just thankful to have a setup that was very similar to his. and that we could run alike because we're both a very good Martinsville racer. As to any short track, we're really good at. And starting P4 is one of the only spots I didn't want to start in the top 5, but it worked out automatically. I mean, I fell right behind. Fabico didn't get going, but I fell in right behind whoever started third, 4 in field, and then I made my way around him after a couple laps. But we were the only problem was definitely the falling off. I would try to ease it into the throttle, and that would cause it to even get it even more loose off the corners towards the end. But the only thing I could probably say is and it's just going to happen either way is obviously the fuel, but knowing my situation and how fast he was all race, and I was probably about a second and a half, 2 seconds behind him all race, was that once I knew I was close enough to the good, I had to start going, because that gap wasn't going to close itself if we both stopped saving at the same time.
Indeed, man. And I got to ask, too, obviously, the short tracks, you mentioned it, kind of one of your strong suits. I'm going to jump to tomorrow real quick, because you'll be running the Xfinity Series race as well. Your second week running full-time down there, had a pretty interesting Atlanta, ultimately ended pretty well, but showed a lot of speed there, first full-time race. You're kind of trying to regain points. Tomorrow, we're also at one of your best tracks, a place that also seems to defy you of wins, though, quite regularly, similar to, it's kind of the luck you've really run through. You always seem to either end up second there or have a winning car, and something out of your control happens to you. Assuming you don't fall to any of that tomorrow, of course, we're talking about Bristol, by the way, Xfinity, first scheduled break off.
Oh wow, I thought we were
the
talking
season.
about Eldora. I couldn't tell.
No, no.
No, I'm just joking.
First scheduled break off of the season. Xfinity heads to Bristol under the lights tomorrow. How do you feel about your chances tomorrow night?
Oh well, you make a good point, but I think coming off the momentum with the Truck Series, my past 3 weeks, I finished second, fifth, and second. We're starting from the back tomorrow in Xfinity. I think I'm starting 18th, which isn't that bad because I'm gonna be the high side, but I definitely know I'm gonna have a car built for some great hang time speed with the leaders, and I just got to keep Casey as far behind me as possible, because I know he's going to be in that race, and I think he's going to be not to sound, overconfident about myself. I think he's going to be my only competition tomorrow. The Truck Series in East Park, I kept up a track bar for most of the race, so I think as long as something, obviously you said, out of my control, whether it's fuel, whether it's a bad restart, if that doesn't happen, I think tomorrow could be the day I get my first win. It all depends, but the past couple weeks, they've been more motivating to me. I've realized that getting these good finishes, I just got to learn to you can't really pick and choose what cards you get to play with. You just got to play with the best hand you got and see what you can bring to the table every race, and that's what we're just looking forward to do every other race.
Well, I'd say that's a pretty good outlook, and definitely will get you success at some point. You've been pretty close. I definitely see you taking the next step very soon and getting that first win. But before we let you go, second place finish, second time this season you've done that. Do you have any shout-outs, Trippy, for that tonight?
Yes, shout out to Casey for officially making me the lap counter. I know everybody doesn't get to hear me on stream, but I am pretty good at my job. I'd like to thank the booth. You guys always seem to entertain me while I'm racing. I'd like to shout out to the racers. Everybody's racing hard tonight. Shout out to Material Zero. He almost wrecked me in stage 1. I know it's not his fault. He was racing hard with the 94-74. I just caught him at the wrong time. It's not his fault, not mine. Not mad about it. Didn't really hurt me, but shout out to him. He's also a really good friend. Shout out to Toasted. Him and his sister are really good fans of me, and I'm glad that I could put on a show every time that they're watching. Shout out to Fry Dog. Wouldn't be anything without him. He's my father when it comes to this. And last but not least, shout out to Riley Ogle.
All right, Trippy. Thank you for that. And yes, we can confirm both Toasted and his sister are huge fans of Trippy. So, good job getting them a second place finish, bringing that back to them. I know they'll be happy about that, and I know that'll be a good momentum booster for you as well, and to the rest of the league and then forward.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Gavin, you have the race wiener. Yes, I did it again. Or I took Gavin's joke from him. You have our race wiener asylums.
Yeah, I'm here with Asylums right now. I believe his audio is included. Casey, are you there?
I'm somewhere. I'm here.
Alrighty, well, I don't know what to call you. I think I'm going to call you Houdini tonight because you just escaped the field every single time the flag dropped, and it was just pure dominance from you here tonight at a track. I definitely had really high hopes for you tonight. I think, like Kevin said, he had you and Vinny circled. I think you were the only one I even had in mind for this race, so not to put anyone else down, but I thought that you had the best chance of winning here tonight, and you proved me right, so I really do appreciate that. Tell me how you can manage to be this quick at a track this tough.
I mean, it's always first. You always want to unload with a decent, good setup or great setup. That's always a plus there. And it's really about being consistent. Managing your tires, make sure you're not, dying loose off, 2 or 4. You don't want that to happen. And it's just really about being consistent. We only fell off a few tenths, really. I mean, it wasn't nearly as much fall off as I thought we were gonna have. So that was really good to see.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I can recall from earlier in the stream talking about having a comfortable race car here is something extremely important in a stable race car, which you look to have, but you also had extreme speed. Any secrets you're willing to give out about how to race the paperclip?
Oh man,
especially for me.
I mean, there's a little something out there for that track in Bristol that I think only a few of my close buddies know about. It's nothing cheating the game. It has something to do with in your setup. I think Vinny, you know what it is. You know what? Okay, let me rephrase it. I can tell you. I can tell you, but I'm not gonna tell you. It's something to do with the gear.
Yeah, I mean, gears can play a factor anywhere you go, especially at a track like Martinsville. Gears matter so much. I'll do the Kevin question for you. Any shout-outs that you'd like to give to,
Wow, I'm gonna
give?
shout out to Kevin's old friend Pete. We haven't talked to Pete in a while.
Shout out to you guys for doing what you guys do. Welcome back Abyss. I don't know where he went, but Abyss,
I'm here.
awesome to have you back calling these races. Shout out to everybody that shows up for the series I put on or division I put on. You guys have really shown yourselves that you guys can do this, and one day you guys will get called up to the other series if you're not already. So just keep on improving, keep on racing clean. We only had, I think, 1 or 2 incidents tonight at Martinsville. That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want to say too, we're glad to have our favorite Abyss is back. We're glad to have him, and I know Kevin's glad to have him. So it's really made this booth a little bit more entertaining, I hope, and I hope our viewers have really loved it. Before I turn it over to our other two to possibly interview our race wiener here tonight, I just want to say congratulations to Casey and all of our RHRL friends for putting on such a great race tonight. Kevin and Abyss, you got anything?
I got something.
Go ahead. I have.
I just gotta say, I think
Lay it
your
on me.
truck was again illegal in so many ways. Your truck kept pulling away. I don't know what. I'm gonna have to check it out at the end of this race when we're all done here.
The truck's sitting back there in victory lane if we want to go look at it. It's
I
all
might see
confetti
some
all
mustard.
over it.
I might see some mustard or some ketchup on the tires. I'm not sure what I'm gonna find.
Well, might be a loose lug nut. I'm not sure if they got all 4 on start of stage 3. I mean, I think, or all 5. I think they did. I think all 4 tires are tight. I hope. Well, that's gonna be a fine for the crew chief there, but.
But we'll make sure we'll keep the ketchup away from you, and hopefully we get to see this wiener in victory lane one more time.
Oh, rumor has it I'm already drenched in ketchup from that. You know, that's how we celebrate. We don't got no champagne, you know, none of the stuff, because, you know, we ain't 21 yet, but ketchup and mustard do the trick, so.
Can I have a monster victory lane, please?
Clean up a victory lane, but no, Asylums. Obviously, you win here. I don't think any of us are shocked by that. You also break the streak. Now we have 5 different winners in 6 races. You're the only truck driver to win multiple races this season, so good job. You've broken that trend.
Man, it's
But,
felt like
I gotta
forever. Jesus.
I gotta ask about tomorrow as well. Bristol, one of your best tracks. I know you said in the party earlier that's really the race that's on your hit list this weekend is Bristol. How do you feel about your chances tomorrow night?
I mean, the performances in the past there, you know, to show what we can do there. I mean, as long as that track, as long as it doesn't come down to fuel saving, I think we have a very good shot tomorrow. Of course, you know, Vinny's going to be there. You know, my little arch nemesis right now. He just wants to beat me. I mean, of course, you know, there's going to be, you know, other Xfinity full-timers that are going to be good. I know Toasted has a piece here. Probably, you know, Sideways, sorry if I'm getting anybody. Maybe Hades. Wait. No, Hades can't race. I think he's suspended.
Nope, not this weekend. Yeah, that's the story
Anyways.
for another time.
But, you know, it's just, you know, tomorrow, stay clean. We got to start in the back, you know, last place. So,
The Cool Kids Club.
you know, just got to take it, well, I don't know. I want to say take it easy, but then again, knowing me, I don't know if I can take it easy back in Bristol. But we'll see.
Well, the one thing I can tell you is you and your arch nemesis, quote unquote, will be starting back there together. So we'll be able to watch you both carve your way through the field like I think we all would expect tomorrow. But
I
congratulations.
plan on
That's
following
fun to
him.
watch.
We'll see.
Either way.
Congratulations, though, on a win. Again, breaking the streak we've had. Our first multi-time winner in the Truck Series this season. We'll see if we can continue that momentum into Bristol tomorrow and maybe into the Cup Series race back at Martinsville on Sunday. Congrats, Alums.
Alright, thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir. So, guys, as I have been now bullied and abused in the booth, and that doesn't just not kidding. I'm kidding. As my voice has
In
been
and out of the
mocked
booth.
yet again. Yeah, in and out of the booth.
And again.
As my voice has been mocked yet again, and probably won't
again.
be the last
And
time
again.
in this hour. I mean, I'm really excited for what we had tonight. Great race overall. I know it maybe got a little bit single file, but it also created some intense moments with lap traffic and as well as you know the whole bumper situation. Old chrome horn got used quite a bit as well, but I tell you what, I am really excited for what we're gonna see tomorrow. Bristol is about can be 2-3 lanes if you're really daring enough to try the middle. But the bottom and the top both work really well there. It's very narrow. You make a mistake, you're probably gonna get some other people caught up in it because of how much speed you carry and how close everybody's running to one another. So very fast half-mile track. Gonna be fun. Under the lights, I think that's the Xfinity Series, maybe their first full night race. I know Iowa is kind of at dusk, but I believe this is their first full race under the lights. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm pretty excited. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty exciting to watch our Xfinity drivers take it around the last great Coliseum. It's going to be one heck of a show tomorrow. But, I mean, that rivalry between Casey and Vinny can kind of be comparable to the Jeff Gordon-Dale Earnhardt rivalry of the 90s. I mean, you just look at it, you got two of the top competitors and always fighting tooth and nail, but they're also kind of good buddies on the side, you know. You might not have not seen that out of Earnhardt and Gordon all the time, but that's kind of the comparisons I draw out of these two. So pretty cool to see that in online racing 30 years down the road. So pretty cool there to notice how these guys really battle hard and keep it clean. But it's been really great tonight for Abyss and to come back tonight and be welcomed into the booth. And you know, me and Kevin always love putting on a show, and it's even more fun with three, I think. I wasn't we weren't super open to the idea, but, you know, it was really fun to have Abyss out here, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow with our three-man booth. It's going to be pretty exciting and a lot of entertaining racing still yet to come in Short Track Racing Week. Just want to say thanks, Casey, for the 2 subs. That's pretty cool. And for Fry for giving out some bits there. And for all of our supporters, we peaked at 13 viewers tonight. Really appreciative of all you guys that have supported the league and supported my streams throughout the time being. It's been really fun. For Abyss and K Harvick fan, I've been Glixen here tonight. And one last thing before we go, make sure if you go to Circle B Diecasts, huge recommendation to use their site for all your racing and motorsport memorabilia needs. Please, I mean, if you want free shipping, I like free shipping. I know you guys like free shipping.
I love free shipping.
Free
Especially
shipping.
on that
Best
You know,
type.
they say nothing's free.
The best type of
They say
shipping.
nothing's free. This is free. All you got to do, if you spend more than $20, which is pretty easy to do with the diecasts or a flag or anything, it's pretty easy to spend over $20. Just type in promo code RHRL and you will have free shipping if you live in the U.S., which I believe most of you guys do. I know if we have a few Canadian friends who don't, which is unfortunate for them. But if you live in the U.S., code RHRL on any purchase over $20 at circlebdiecast.com, and you will be coming home with free shipping, which is a pretty amazing deal. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to stop by tomorrow, the same time, 10 p.m. Eastern, to come catch some short track racing in the Xfinity Series at the Last Great Coliseum of Bristol. For a Dark Abyss K Harvick fan, I've been Glixen, and we're glad that you could stop by and enjoy some short track racing with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.